Hello, I'm Jessie Quinn from Cup of Books, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Dark Wife by Sarah Diemer. The Dark Wife is a young adult's retelling of the Hades and Persephone myth, in which Hades is a woman and is the lady of the underworld. I was so excited to read this one. I heard so many good things about it. There's a lot of people who I really value their taste in books who really like this one. But when I started reading it, I just couldn't get into it. Okay, let's start with things I liked. For the most part, I loved Sarah Diemer's take on Greek mythology and sort of the setting of the underworld and of Olympus and the Immortals' Forest. I thought they were all very well done. I also really liked that Persephone had friendships outside of her relationship with Hades. Sarah Diemer's portrayal of Zeus is definitely from a modern perspective, but I really liked that because I feel like I could really relate to it. I don't really like Zeus, and I like that in this one I'm allowed to just hate Zeus and he's just awful and the stuff he does is awful. I liked that the novel was not going to sanitize Greek mythology, and I liked that it was actually going to look at the implications of gods just doing what they want to essentially everyone. And then finally, the last thing I really loved, like not even just liked, but I loved about this one, and I'm sad because it was such a small part of the novel, was the epilogue, almost, of the story. I felt like there was so much more to say. Things I didn't enjoy as much. For a story such as Hades and Persephone, there needed to be a larger story being told. The story felt a little too small. Persephone is actually on my list. I didn't really like her as a protagonist. I didn't find her nearly as interesting as I wanted to find her. I also felt like Demeter, Persephone's mother, who is the goddess of the earth, was very underused. I just wanted more done with the mother-daughter relationship there, particularly after reading Sappho's Fables, which I felt did the mother-daughter relationship fantastically well in stories like Braided. On a more technical note, I think the writing in this one isn't as strong as some of Diemer's other works. There were a lot of commas, like an overload of commas, and a lot of the commas were unnecessary. A lot of the words were a little redundant. It distracted me enough that I'm going to point it out. Yeah, I've really struggled to rate this one. On the one hand, I really liked the way Diemer retells this myth and how she describes the settings and the way she depicts different gods and goddesses in the mythology. But then, on the other hand, I didn't really enjoy it. At the end of the day, this one just wasn't my cup of tea, and I don't think it's Diemer's strongest work. I'm gonna go with like a 3.75. I feel bad. It's not a 3 stars book, but it's definitely not a 4 stars, so somewhere between 3 and 4 stars. That's my rating. Yeah.